She said she was fine. She had a job, a house, a daughter in Portland who called every Sunday at noon, and 18 months of practice convincing herself she did not need anyone. Then she walked into Maplewood Shelter on a Thursday afternoon, stopped in front of Kennel 17, and 230-pound Bullmastiffs looked up at her like they had been waiting for exactly this moment. Their names were Bruno and Baxter, both brown, both built like the kind of dog you stop pretending you don't want. Bruno was 134 pounds, broad-chested, with a wrinkled face that had absorbed every disappointment quietly. Baxter was 128 pounds, with eyes that moved carefully, like he was always taking notes. They had been surrendered together. Previous owner, a man who checked the box that said, "can no longer care for them." 3 words for 2 dogs who had lived with him for 4 years. They had been at Maplewood for 287 days. 11 families had visited. 9 walked away in the first 5 minutes. 1 tried to take only Bruno. Baxter stopped eating for 4 days after that. The shelter manager, Linda, never attempted to separate them again. Margaret Hayes was 51 years old, 23 years as a high school librarian in Clearwater, Florida. Her husband had passed away 18 months earlier. A heart attack, sudden, no warning, no goodbye. Just a Tuesday morning that ended completely differently than it started. She kept the house. She kept his coffee mug on the counter. She kept the silence because it was the only thing still holding the shape of him. She never made it to the cat. Bruno was sitting with his back pressed against Baxter's side, the way 2 things lean against each other, not because they have to, but because they always choose to. Neither barked, neither jumped. They looked at her the way you recognize someone you cannot quite place. Linda was honest. She always was. Each eats about 6 pounds of food a week. Together, 12 pounds. Their last routine vet visit was $430. They cannot be separated. We tried twice. Baxter stopped eating. Bruno howled until his voice gave out. They are a package deal, and the package is 262 pounds of dog that 11 families decided was too much. Margaret looked at Bruno. Bruno looked at Margaret. Then Baxter walked to the kennel bars, pressed his wrinkled face against them, and let out the softest sound she had ever heard a dog make. Not a bark, not a whine, something quieter, something she felt before she heard it. She signed the adoption papers 40 minutes later. The first 72 hours were something no one could have prepared her for. Bruno walked through the backyard screen door within 6 minutes of arriving. He simply did not register it as an obstacle. Baxter sat on the sofa and it tilted 3 inches to the left, a lean it would never recover from. That first night, both orthopedic beds were empty. Bruno was diagonal across the couch, all 134 pounds of him snoring like a generator in low gear. Baxter was on her bed, occupying 2/3 of the mattress. She tried to move him. He opened one eye and closed it again. By week 1, she had lost the couch, her side of the bed, and any possibility of eating with 2 enormous faces tracking every forkful from plate to mouth. Bruno would rest his chin on the table edge at the exact moment she lifted her fork and produce a drool puddle the size of a dinner plate every single meal. Margaret started keeping paper towels in her cardigan pocket. Then there was the blanket. Bruno found a gray fleece throw on the reading chair on day 2. By day 3, it was fully his. Every night after the lights went out, he would take the corner of that blanket into his mouth and knead it slowly, the way something does when it is trying to remember being small and safe, until he fell asleep with it tucked under his chin. Margaret watched from the doorway 3 nights running before she realized she was smiling. What nobody tells you about Bullmastiffs is that behind those broad skulls and those slow, deliberate eyes, there is a precision. They do not watch you carelessly, they read you. And Bruno and Baxter had been reading Margaret since the moment she stopped at Kennel 17. 6 weeks in, on a Wednesday in November, she had a bad day. A former student came to say goodbye before moving away, but he had the same laugh as her husband, the same tilt of the head. She drove home, sat down on the kitchen floor, and cried the way people cry when they have been holding everything together for too long, and something small finally opened the door. Bruno came first. He walked in slowly, lowered himself beside her, and placed his head in her lap. Just weight, warmth, and presence. Then Baxter pressed his entire side against her arm and did not move. Margaret sat on her kitchen floor at 7:51 on a Wednesday, sandwiched between 262 pounds of dog, and for the first time in 18 months, the house did not feel empty. If you are still watching and have not subscribed yet, that honestly stings. These stories take everything we have. Hit subscribe. You're going to want to see what comes next. After that, a routine formed. Every morning at 6:20, Baxter would press his nose against the bedroom door until it swung open. Not a bark, not a scratch, just steady nose pressure until physics surrendered. Bruno had his own system. He would carry Margaret's reading glasses from the nightstand to the kitchen and place them next to his bowl. No glasses until breakfast. Margaret had no memory of agreeing to this. She honored it anyway. Every afternoon around 4, Baxter would take his post at the front window and wait. The moment Margaret's car turned onto the street 3 houses away, he would stand. By the time she reached the door, he was already there, tail moving in slow arcs, certain in a way that made her throat tighten every time. Then came the night that changed everything. Friday in January, 3:18 in the morning, Bruno started barking. Not his usual low, rolling sound, something sharper, urgent. She came downstairs and found him rigid at the back door, staring into the yard. Baxter was beside him, a low vibration in his chest she felt before she heard it. She turned on the porch light. A man was at the back fence, one leg already over. When the light hit him, he froze. Then he saw Bruno, 134 pounds, completely still, not moving, just there. The man did not climb over the fence, he fell off it. He left one shoe behind near the rose bushes. The police came. 2 houses on the street had been broken into that same night. Margaret's was the only one untouched. The same 2 dogs 11 families called too much. The same 262 pounds that waited in Kennel 17 for 287 days. They were the reason she slept safely that night and every night after. Today, Bruno is 6 and Baxter is 5. Bruno still takes the reading glasses every morning. Baxter still guards the window at 4. The gray blanket belongs to Bruno now, and no negotiation will change that. The drool puddle Margaret accepted as part of the floor plan long ago. She does not come home to silence anymore. She comes home to 262 pounds of loyalty, stolen glasses, and a love so steady and without condition that she sometimes stands in the doorway just to watch them breathe. When her daughter asked if she had been scared the night of the fence, Margaret thought about it. Then she said no. She had not been scared of anything since the day she signed those papers. Some dogs do not wait to be asked. They do not need a command or a reason. They just look at the space beside you and decide. Bruno and Baxter decided the moment they stopped at Kennel 17, and every morning since, with stolen glasses and a nose-dented door and a blanket that belongs to no one else, they keep deciding every single day. Would you take a chance on 2 dogs that 11 families called too much? Tell me in the comments.